A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English, 'cause it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello everyone, welcome to A+ English. I'm Mike.
I'm Chicklin.
And today we are with our friends, well, along with Chicklin, our friend, we're with our other friends, Evelyn and Ethan. And today they're going to be learning some basic science. I guess we could say this is physics or chemistry, but it's the science of fire. That's right. We're going to be learning about the fire triangle.
Oh.
Do you know about the fire triangle?
I actually do not.
Well, you will soon, along with Evelyn, Ethan, myself, and the rest of us. But before we get into the actual science of fire and the fire triangle, let's talk about a time when you might have to make a fire. Do you like camping? Why or why not?
Okay, I'm actually very scared of worms, earthworms.
Okay, you're scared of worms.
So I think I like the idea of camping.
Yes.
But I've never actually done it.
Okay.
Or maybe I've done it like once in my life.
So you're afraid of worms in your sleeping bag?
Right.
Crawling on your face in the nighttime? Okay.
So probably 50-50, or maybe I prefer glamping.
You prefer glamping in a worm-free glamp site?
Yes.
Okay, well that's good. The good news is I've been camping a few times and worms have never been an issue.
Wow, because you're not scared of them.
Well, no, because they don't come. Worms come out when it rains.
Okay.
Right? Or if you dig into the ground, then you'll find worms, but you don't have to do that when you're camping. That's gardening, not camping. That's totally different.
Okay.
Trust me, you could go, I won't say you will definitely, you will most likely never see worms now spiders, cockroaches, snakes, maybe, but not worms. So don't worry.
Okay.
Plus, if you do see worms, you can burn them with fire. No, don't do that.
Oh, that's kind of cruel.
That wouldn't be nice. And the worms don't need that. But you will learn how to make a fire. And maybe the fire will keep the worms away.
Oh,
right?
true.
'Cause fire might scare them away. They don't want to get close to that. So let's learn how to make a fire when we talk about the fire triangle, and no worms will be hurt in this entire article lesson. Nowhere. Worms are safe, and so are you.
Good to know.
Evelyn and Ethan learn about the fire triangle. Warm-up question. Do you like camping? Why or why not?
We need dry wood and grass. Wet wood won't burn well.
Okay.
An hour later.
Now we start by igniting the dry grass. It catches fire easily. Then we need to carefully blow on the flames.
Won't that put the fire out?
We can't blow too strongly or it will.
All right, so let's see what's going on as we get into our dialogue. Of course, Evelyn and Ethan are our friends from many different articles and lessons, and they're always getting into adventures, and Evelyn and Ethan often discover things together. So let's see what they're doing today. It says Evelyn and Ethan are camping. Okay, so they're out there in the woods. They probably have a tent. They hopefully have a nice campsite to camp in. I'm sure they brought some great food with them, and of course their sleeping bags. And before they get to making that delicious food and getting ready for the cold nighttime out camping, they're looking for wood to make a fire. Because, you need a fire when you go camping.
Right.
You might not need
Make
it,
a
but it's
fire.
nice to have, and it allows you also to cook food and to stay warm, and it will give you light at night to keep the worms away. So Ethan begins our dialogue. He says, we need dry wood and grass. Wet wood won't burn well. Very, very true. Already, he knows some good basic campfire facts. They need some dry wood, some grass, maybe some little sticks if you can find them. The grass and the little sticks will help start the fire, and then bigger pieces of wood will burn nicely. Wet wood won't burn well. So yes, that's very true. Many people might bring wood with them just to be safe, or you look for a dead, dry tree or a dry, dead tree that if you can, because yes, wet wood might burn, but it won't burn well, and it will take a long time to catch on fire. So Evelyn thinks this sounds like a sensible plan. She says, okay.
OK， 所以我们的情境就是 Evelyn 跟那个 Ethan 他们在野营。那因为我们去露营就要找那个火柴生火嘛，所以那个 Ethan 就说我们需要干燥的木材跟草，因为湿的木材是烧不旺的。I actually don't know how to make a fire.
You don't know how to make a fire?
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
It seems pretty complicated.
Not really. You need to know a few basic things, and it's a good thing to practice before you actually have to do it. But I'm sure you could make a fire. It's not that. Can you make a salad?
Yes.
Then making a fire and making a salad isn't that hard.
Really?
You just collect the right things and you put them in the right order, and then there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. How often do you go camping? I'm going to guess not very often.
Not very often.
Not very
Last time was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago? Wow, I've gone camping more recently than that. That is good. When I went camping, I went with my wife's family.
Aww.
And her brother is very prepared. So we didn't actually have to make a fire or do much. He had all the equipment and all the stoves and food containers. It wasn't super rough, I guess. It was kind of glamping. You would have been very comfortable. Back to our article. So it's an hour later. I guess they've been getting the campsite ready, maybe putting up their tent and doing all that stuff, and also collecting some things to start the fire with. It says Evelyn and Ethan are trying to start the fire with a match. All right, so they're using a match, one of those things you strike to make fire. Of course, you could also have a lighter of some kind, like a small machine that makes fire for you. But Ethan says, now we start by igniting the dry grass. It catches fire easily. That's right, dry grass, or you can just bring some old newspaper with you, something like that. Don't try to light a big piece of wood first, because that will just take a long time. Start small and easy, and then you can ignite larger pieces of wood that you can make the fire out of.
听起来有点复杂，我觉得啦。但是 ignite 就是点燃，所以1个小时之后呢，他们还在尝试用这个火柴生火。然後 Ethan 就说：“好吧，现在要点燃这个 grass 干草，因为它很容易着火。” Okay, I do not know how to make a fire, as I mentioned, but you seem like a pro at it.
A pro? I'm not a pro. I'm a well-informed amateur.
Oh, okay.
I've done it before. I know how to do it. I'm not saying I could do it anywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think it would be too hard. You just get some dry stuff, and then you start small, and then you put bigger sticks on there, and then you put bigger sticks on there, and then once it starts to get big, you put a bigger piece of wood, and off you go. So it's not that hard. So next thing we see is a picture, and some smoke is coming from the campfire. And as they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. So that we know that means they're on the right track. But yes, maybe it's just a very tiny little fire, just some little baby flames, and you don't want those to go out, because then you gotta start all over again. So Ethan has a very good suggestion. Then we need to carefully blow on the flames, and let us stress the word carefully there. You're not blowing on them like you might blow on a birthday cake. No, that's just going to make the fire go everywhere and cause a whole bunch of trouble. Gently blow, like you're kind of blowing on your cup of tea to cool it down, right? You want to do something like that. You can even fan it a little bit. Maybe if you have a fan or something, you can use that. But of course, don't get it too close to the flame. You don't want your fan to catch on fire. That would be silly. And also when we said blow on it carefully, and of course, don't get your mouth too close to the fire. You don't want to barbecue your lips.
Right. 所以 flame 就是火焰，所以图片呢，我们就看到萤火冒出了一些烟，然后 Ethan 就说，但是我们要轻轻的吹这个火苗，不能太大力吹哦。刚刚麦克老师有讲，所以着火的英文我们可以说 catch on fire。那熄灭呢，如果比如说火熄灭，你可以说 the fire went out， 就是火熄灭了。但如果你要去灭火，你也可以用 put out the fire 来代表你去消灭这个火。
All right, now Evelyn is worried about that thing I kind of said before. You know, sometimes people will blow on fire like on candles on a cake to put the fire out. So she's thinking, blow on the fire? Well, hang on. As Evelyn says, won't that put the fire out? Won't that like kill the fire in the same way that you blow on the candles and they go out, right? So in her mind, here's Evelyn imagining that they're blowing too hard and they put out the campfire. They blow it all over the place. The flames just can't hold on and it all goes, stops. So they have to start again. But Ethan's like, no. We can't blow too strongly or it will. Yes, if you try to copy the wind power of a typhoon, yes, the fire will probably go out. But if you blow like a gentle breeze, then it should help the fire to grow instead of putting it out.
所以 Evelyn 就说，这样不会把火吹灭吗？所以 Evelyn 就想象他们吹太用力，结果火就灭了，所以是不能吹太用力的哦。
Fires need 3 things to burn: fuel, oxygen, and heat. There's oxygen in the air. Gently blowing on the fire helps the air move.
Oh, I see. The fire is growing. Look, the flames are red and orange.
Flames can also show other colors at different temperatures. Their colors change when people burn different things too. Fireworks are one example.
Okay, we are back. So now that we've learned a few of the practical things, the theory of how to make a fire, or just how to actually do it, let's learn about the science behind what is going on here. And when you need to know stuff about stuff, you call Ethan. Ethan knows lots of stuff. And he explains to Evelyn, fires need 3 things to burn: fuel, oxygen, and heat. Remember, we talked about the fire triangle? 3 things in that triangle, like 3 sides. Fuel, that of course is the wood in a campfire. Oxygen, that's the air that you're blowing or the air around you. And heat, that would be created by the match or using that lighter to start things burning. There's oxygen in the air, Ethan explains. Gently blowing on the fire helps the air move. Yes, of course, you're blowing out your own breath, which would be CO2 coming from you, but that will also bring in a lot of oxygen from the air around you. That oxygen will help to fuel the fire and make it burn better.
Right， 所以呢，火呢需要3样东西，这就是火的fire triangle。你需要燃料、氧气跟热源。那因为空气中有氧气，所以你轻轻的吹火可以帮助空气流动。
All right, so you can picture a fire triangle, and it is made up of 3 elements or 3 sides: heat, fuel, and oxygen. There you go. You need all 3 of those things to make sure the fire can burn successfully.
所以就是刚刚我们讲的火三角，然后 Evelyn 就说：“我懂了 ，I see， 就是我明白了。”
She gets it.
Yeah, she gets
she
it.
She understands.
I'm still trying to.
You get it.
Probably.
I think you get it. All right, back to the article. Ethan and Evelyn see the campfire getting bigger. The fire is reflected in Evelyn's eyes. Wow, so it's going really well. The fire is growing. Look, the flames are red and orange. Okay, so as the fire gets bigger, maybe the color of the flames will change a little bit.
所以呢，哇，火越来越旺盛咯。然后你看，火焰是红色跟橙色的耶。
As Ethan explains, flames can also show other colors at different temperatures. Yeah, a lot of us have seen this. You might have seen a yellow flame that's not too hot, like on a candle, right? You can pass your hand through a yellow flame if you do it quickly. But then there's the blue flames that might be there on your stove when you're cooking food and they're super hot. And then there's kind of gray or almost see-through flames that I think are even hotter. And yes, that is true. And then, of course, what you burn can also change the color of the flame. As Ethan explains, their colors change when people burn different things too. Fireworks are one example. Yeah, absolutely. All the different colors in fireworks are made by burning different chemicals. And when you burn things that are different chemicals, they burn with different colors. Like copper is what makes blue. If you burn copper dust, you'll get a nice blue flame.
Right. 所以其实像烟火，它就是一种 firework， 就是烟火。我们燃烧不同的东西，火焰颜色就不一样，因为你燃烧不一样的东西，它就会变成不一样的颜色。
All right, we have some examples. Yellow flame, that's burning salt. Really, if you want to burn salt. Here it says green flame from burning copper. I would argue with that, but maybe it's kind of a greenish blue. Or maybe I remember doing this in science class. I guess we might have used copper sulfide, so maybe that's a little different. But yes, anyways, you do get those different colors, and that is how they make fireworks that explode and burn and show us different colors by having different chemicals in the rockets.
对，因为燃烧盐巴就会有黄色火焰，燃烧铜就会有绿色火焰，就是不一样的化学原理而已。
All right, now you're going to burn it up with your teaching, right?
Yes.
Yay.
Wood 就是木头，所以砍木材就是 cut wood。比如说 they cut wood from the forest to build a cabin， 或者是说呢脱离险境，英文可以说 out of the woods。比如说 after the surgery, the patient was out of the woods and on the road to recovery， 就是呢他已经开始复原了。那我们看另外一个句子。Jerry cut down a tree and made a table from its wood. Jerry 砍下了一棵树，并用它的木头做了一张桌子。那我们今天都在说吹气不能吹太大力，因为生火的时候 blow 它的三态是 blow, blew, blown， 所以吹熄蜡烛就是 blow out candles， 或者是今天你去告密，我们也可以说 blow the whistle on someone or something。比如说 she decided to blow the whistle on the company's unethical practices。那我们看另外一个句子 The soup is very hot, so blow on it before you eat it。 汤很烫，所以喝之前要记得吹一下。那么 gently 这个字就是轻轻的，所以你轻轻的抚摸动物，你可以说 stroke gently。比如说 she gently stroked the cat's fur, calming it down。 或者是我们说轻柔的风，你可以说 gentle breeze。 那我们看另外一个例句 Tommy walks gently to avoid waking up the baby。 Tommy 呢放轻他的脚步，以免吵醒在睡觉的宝宝。那么 move 这个字呢就是移动，我们这样英文可以说 move house， 代表搬家。比如说 They decided to move to a new city for better job opportunities。 或者是我们再看另外一个例句The teacher told us not to move when we were taking photos。 我们在拍照的时候呢，老师叫我们不要移动。OK， 所以这是今天所有的单字，大家不要忘记复习哦。Right now, let's go to our review time activity.
Review time.
All right, we are back. And before we get out to the woods to barbecue some worms, is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make the
please
fire.
don't, probably not.
You make the fire, I'll find the worms, and we'll have a disgusting dinner.
Okay.
Okay, so we won't do that. Let's do a review. We will do a review. We won't do that other plan. What is our review going to be? It's going to be opposites of the words we learned today. So let's look at those words again. Would, blow, gently, and move. So opposites basically means I will give you a word that's kind of exactly totally different from the word we talked about here. All right? Okay, so we'll start off easy. I'm going to say stand still.
Stand still. Moving.
Yes, if you're moving, you're not standing still, you're moving. Okay, here's one. Not too tough. Roughly.
Roughly. Oh,
brutally.
That's like you're not doing something gently.
Exactly. Gently is in a very, careful way. Roughly is using a lot of force or violence. Very good. Okay. Metal. Or even better, plastic.
Plastic. That's a type of material. So I'm going to go for wood.
Exactly right. And plastic, of course, is very fake. Wood is very natural. That's the other reason. And okay, suck.
Suck. That's like you do this. So when you do the opposite, that's blow.
Exactly right. You blow out the candles, but you suck up the juice in the straw. Well done. You deserve a worm cookie. No, you don't.
That's not even a reward.
You deserve a pat on the back. Good job. All right, guys, we're going to have more good stuff for you. Be careful out there. If you're going to make a fire, make sure you do it in the safest way possible. And if you've never done it before, make sure you have someone with experience with you. We don't want to cause fires where we don't need them. This is a problem in the world these days. Take care of yourselves and the forests and nature and even the worms.
Right. 所以今天节目就到这边啦。想跟我们真人老师一对线上讨论的话，欢迎加入我们的空中家教。
Bye bye.